So joining us is Elizabeth Va, who's member of the Ghana Environmental Advocacy Group. Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining us. Now, how did the news about Aisha Huang's re-entry into Ghana come to you?
Thank you so much, and good morning to your cherished listeners. We have heard this message. I have followed the media landscape, especially on social media, and I am scandalized. She is the last person I expected to have come back to Ghana and engage in the illegal activity she was engaged in. It makes a mockery of us, of our country, of our legal system, of everything that we stand for when it comes to protecting our environment and taking care of our people. I am scandalized.
What do you think could possibly have resulted in this lady, getting a re-entry into Ghana?
It's exactly what we have laid out in our petition. This woman wasn't supposed to leave this country in the first place. We have a law. It was amended in 2019, which is the mining law. And it says that when foreigners that are arrested for illegal mining or for breaking the mining laws of the country, there's a minimum sentence of 25 years, which they must serve in Ghanaian jails before they are let out. This was 2019, and there was a whole lot of hullabaloo about it. So how did this woman end up being sent up or allowing to go? And we take it that maybe she left before this law came into effect. Then how on earth, in just last month in July, when I read this report from the Fourth Estate, that only 2 out of the people who had been arrested for destroying our country, the Chinese nationals especially, only 2 were in our jails. And you can imagine, this mustn't happen. Are we serious? Do we really do these laws with a view to let them work, or we do them just to let it be on our books?
So this petition has been around for some time. What has been the response so far to this petition?
Well, we sent it out around the 23rd, 24th of August. So not too long, but we did it right after, not long after the Fourth Estate report came out. And we haven't heard a word from, we sent it to the IGP, the Attorney General, the Immigration, and we sent a copy to the Speaker of Parliament. Not even an acknowledgement. So our people sent it personally, and then I followed up with a soft copy. Every one of these organizations, of these heads, should have it now, but we haven't as much as gotten an acknowledgement of what we have sent them. And if you don't mind me reading, a few things that we've asked for here is for these people. Let me get their names straight. The organizations.
I mean, this is
addressed to the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the Inspector General of Police, the Minister for the Interior, and then the Speaker of Parliament. And the request that we made are this. They should share with us the number of foreign nationals arrested for engaging in illegal mining in Ghana and their nationalities. Number of those arrested that are currently in jail. Number of those who have been released and for what reasons. Number of those deported and under what conditions. Number of such deportees who have returned, and the measures that that have been put in place by these people to ensure that new people coming do not engage in illegal mining in Ghana. This should be public information. This should be public knowledge. We haven't as much as heard, like, thank you for sending this letter. Give us this time, we would send that to you. So when the Aisha issue came up, right now, I don't even know what to make of it. We are laughing stock now.
So once you've not heard from them, what will be your next line of action?
This Aisha thing is just blowing everything out. We're giving them a bit of time. Let's say another week, and Daryl on the Erocha side can add to it, in order to follow up and find out how far we've gotten. We know this is Ghana. When citizens ask for information, they are made to pass through hoops. But we were giving them a bit of time before we came out with our petition. And now that we have this, that shows that whoever we have put in charge of this country to safeguard our interests, protect our environment, are really not either doing it or up to the task. This is a question for all of us in Ghana. We're going to follow up with them again, but I'm really happy that you, the media, have picked this up. Let's do this for our country, because when I see pictures coming from our communities, I'm from Elambele, and you won't believe it. This week alone, 2 excavators have gone missing. And in Crawford Agricultural Secondary School, where our young people are studying, has been taken over again by illegal miners. And the whole place is being turned upside down. Meanwhile, there are gullies and pits filled with mercury water that is still sitting there 2.5 years after they were dug. Is this what we want for ourselves and our country? So please, I need the press to join us.
Okay.
We need to seek better for our country. Otherwise, we don't have a future.
Elizabeth Va is a member of the Ghana Environmental Advocacy Group, asking the authorities to provide details about foreign nationals who have been engaging in illegal mining in the country, of course, who have been arrested but can't be accounted for. Now, back in the studio, I still have with
First of all, let me commend Elizabeth Va. And I assure her that even sitting here, thanks to your program, I've picked up what I would file as a parliamentary question. You see, the rules and standing orders of Parliament has a different attitude to petitions as in questions. So having listened to her, once Parliament resumes, I'll file a question in the name of the minority leader for the Minister of Interior to provide a list of foreign nationals arrested and being prosecuted. So she should consider that will be done early October. As a follow-up, now on her petition to Parliament, I believe the Public Affairs Secretariat of Parliament will respond appropriately. But I should say that the Speaker, Alban Smani-Bagbin, is very active to the task. There is a problem with how Parliament deals with petitions. So part of the amendment to our standing orders will be to deal with it. You see, when you bring the petition, it has to be tabled, and probably a member will have to take it up. That is not how petitions are handled globally across the world. Now, to borrow her words, but mockery of the rule of law. She says mockery of the legal system. Now, to answer Lizzie, Huang is back because Ghana is profitable for her and she has a favor of the elite political system, nothing more. That's why she can breach our law with such impunity.
But Parliament has also failed us in this regard.
Parliament has failed Ghana in many respects. I'll share some with you as we dance along.
But in this case, you agree that you have failed us. Why that? Why did you sit aloof for this to happen?
I say Parliament have failed us in many respects. Not being responsive, not being too transparent, and not being accountable, and not protective of the public purse because of excessive partisanship. We've said that repeatedly. A matter counts before us, and maybe I just give you the example. Government says, I want to borrow $1 billion because the economy is in dire need of some financial resources. We examine it and we say, no, the 250 is prohibitively expensive. You cannot be borrowing 250 million where 43 million of it goes to insurance premium. So it means the person is walk away with 43 million and you get only 200 million for borrowing 250 million. Now we come to the $750 million and we say as a constructive, responsible opposition that no, this was approved as part of the main budget. 4.6 billion in the appendix which was approved. Maybe at an exchange rate of 6.8 Ghana cedis to $1, that works out to $750 million. Let's support government to get this money in order to shore up the reserve so that Ghana does not deteriorate into a Sri Lankan situation. Now, even as that 750 million have come in, the depreciation of the city have not stopped. You see, it reminds me of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President, economist, when he said that I will arrest the depreciation of the city, he probably thought that it was stopping a trot-trot between Wulugu and Nasia. It was as easy as just asking a trot-trot to stop. No. You must reform the structure of your economy. You must invest in your export sector, minimize your import. That is when you are dealing with the epileptic fall of the city. When you don't have policies and you just deceptive propaganda, they got away with it. They said, look, what is worrying is the silence of academia, the churches, the media, many well-meaning.
But when you parliament, when parliament is not achieving anything, what do you expect from the academics?
Look, President John
Dramani, hold on.
At the time,
when you agree that Parliament has failed us.
Yes.
When you have failed us, yes, I agree. But when you have failed us, how do you expect the academics? Because you have more power to ensure to check the executive.
Agreed. I said in many respects, but there are many other respects that Parliament have protected this country, contributed to its economic growth, contributed to the peace and stability of the country. I'm not saying we have failed wholeheartedly. No, I'm saying that in many aspects of our national life, when we come to the Auditor General report, I'll indicate to you another failure of Parliament that I'm particularly not happy about. Okay. I've raised it repeatedly over a year. Sometimes you, the media, say that what is the minority doing? What is Haruna Idrisu and co doing? And you end up even impugning our integrity and reputation baselessly. Okay. And I'm saying that when we get to the Auditor General report, we'll deal with it.